Hey Scorpios, welcome back to Deku Tarot and welcome to your weekly tarot and astrology for July 13th through the 19th of 2020. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. We're going to look with the Morgan Greer Tarot here. And we're going to dip our toe into the astrology just a little bit this week just because there is so much going on. And I'm not an astrologer, so I feel let's give it over to the astrologers here at during these crazy times. Do check out White Light Astrology. He does a really great job of giving an overview for the month and help make a lot of sense to everything that's going on right now. So check that out if you're interested in more of the astrology. We're going to get right into your reading here. If you're wondering why my face is scratched up, I tripped and fell into some incense. Just scraped right at my face at work. So that's what's going on with my face. It looks a lot better than it did a few days ago. Oh, but yeah. Let's get into this here. The energies have been just so much. Wow. Of course, that one's the first out for you guys. Can we not do this? There's a very combative streak and energy with you guys right now. And we can thank Mars and Aries. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Your cards are literally just like, can we throw out the whole deck? Just the whole thing right on the floor? That's what we're dealing with right now. And I have to say, July, I mean, even the past couple months, energies have just been chaotic and getting more and more to a place that is very hard to read where they're taking us. It's very unpredictable. And some of it feels almost like trickster type energy right now. And I mean that in that it feels like it's going to be one thing and then it's absolutely not that. Or, you know, we have these senses, oh, this thing is going to happen. Then the thing that happens is maybe of the same, I don't know, like topic, but not where you think it would be. Not how you think it would be. It's different. And it might seem like it's going to be good, and then all of a sudden it's bad, and then it feels like it could be really bad, and then something interesting comes out of it. And that's really feels like what July is right now is just very messy. And it asks a lot of us. And during a time when we already feel so much has been asked of us, and it's how you're able to build a new foundation here that helps you out this week. Let's pull just a couple of something here. Hold on. I knew you'd show up. Of course you'd oh. You guys really love to throw some of these things in here. You and Aquarius, only two who got that card, but Four of Cups is here. We've seen the Four of Cups in almost every single reading for this week for almost every single sign. If it's not the Four of Cups, it was the Seven of Pentacles. Both very similar in their pause. I can't believe that it either hasn't grown, or I can't believe that this is what I'm being offered right now. It's not very satisfied. It's not getting what it's out here waiting for. What's being offered is not been satisfying. When the Four of Cups is reversed, you're not really sitting and just accepting that right now. It's now able to, I mean, for me, sometimes that Four of Cups is like an emotional release. We might even be going through an emotional release here. The Tower does show up right next to it. So let's talk about that a little bit, because that's an underlying thing here this week, is that there might be some major changes. Or, and it's almost like, we're going to talk about the Tower in two different ways, actually, because I feel for some of you, it's a past situation that we're finally having either an emotional release about that we've needed to, or an ability really to, what's the word I'm looking for? To take to instruct, or, you know, to build this path to deal with the situation in a totally different way, to build relationships and communicate emotionally in a different way here, to, you know, let go of what was unsatisfying and put that in the past, and to really start doing something about what wasn't satisfying. Okay, well, it's not, so let's just do something about it. Because that Tower and that Three of Swords is right there. And I would say be careful of fights. Be careful of arguments that bring up, or that, especially because with Mars and Aries and you being a Scorpio, you already have a stinger. We don't really need you to have fire behind your stinger, and that reckless energy of, I'm going to say what I'm going to say, and I'm not going to think about it or feel bad about it until maybe like a week down the line. Like, that's the kind of energy you guys might be in some respects. So just watch out for that with that Five of Wands and the Emperor above all of this here. We have to make sure that whatever it is that we're fighting about, that, you know, we're not just trying to exert power, control, and authority over the situation because we want that, because we feel out of control in other areas of our life, and because things haven't been, you know, the things that have been offered to us in terms of stability, control, security have not been what we've wanted to. There's a deep sense of needing again to reconcile some very deep healing that causes some very deep pains that need to be healed, really, and work on, you know, healing on a deeper level right now, because you have obviously this pain that has been in your past, and that is coming up again this week for some reason. A message that we don't want, for sure. And realizing that, again, this beautiful, secure, whatever tower that we built here was not stable in the first place. And it's approaching something in a totally new way, instructing yourself in a new way, and not feeling this need to totally dominate, control, overpower. And I mean, this is just such an intense energy when you get the Five of Rods, because the Five of Rods is a lot of strenuous competition for recognition, for improvement here, for, again, to who's the loudest, who's got the most important thing to say. Even if it's not right, you want to be, you're going to be fighting with your words, fighting with your energy with Mars and Aries. And I have to say this, and I'm going to say it louder if you didn't hear me that first time, or if I didn't feel heard. And all this need for power and this harshness in you this week just comes from this lack of, from whatever this Tower situation is, that it felt like took something out of you, that really sent something crumbling, that's like, hey, this was not stable. This job situation, this health situation, whatever this was, and the way you were dealing with it was not good. And it's time now to recognize that, to feel maybe the pain that, hey, this is an issue and this hurts, yeah, but this is something that we have to work through. This is something we have to recognize, because then we get that Four of Pentacles and the Star, and that is some grounded healing, something that builds a foundation for you. You're going to start building a foundation of healing here, and you have to do that by grounding yourself in reality, by building a new foundation. Yeah, the Tower's gone. The Three of Swords is there, and it's been painful. It's been difficult, and you can't build that foundation again. So it's time for something new. Hold on to what you've learned and start healing. Start working with what you've got. And also, this is like gaining some instruction, it feels to me this week. If you have people in your life that are experts at whatever it is you're going through, that you need some help from a teacher, a mentor, a doctor, a therapist, whatever it might be. I don't know, because the Hierophant for me is always somebody that's wiser, that can help you out, that can point you in the right direction, and put this, you know, put a more spiritual and growth-centric, grounded, I don't want to say normal, but kind of like a baseline energy to this that can give you the key in how to move forward here. Because healing in a more transcendental, better, more, again, how do I do this? English. I cannot wait till this retrograde ends. This is like the last couple of days of it, I think, and I think it actually goes direct tomorrow. So this is like kicking the door on the way out, which is why I feel like I cannot like finish a sentence today or say a word right. It's awful. But there's real foundational growth here. But we have to be, again, willing to recognize that right now we have to clear ourselves out completely. We have to knock down that tower. We have to make that change. We have to let this come in, and we can't fight up against it, because the more you fight against it, the more you try to hold on to this, the more painful of a release it will be. You have to just take accountability, recognize that whatever this was we did have a part in it, and now we can do something about it moving forward rather than lament and feel, you know, attacked and frustrated and, oh my God, like, I can't believe like you'd say this about me. I can't believe you'd point that out. Whatever is being pointed out, whatever is coming up this week from others isn't meant to hurt you. But the energy, especially you being a Scorpio amidst, you know, a Mercury retrograde in Cancer, Mars in Aries, it's going to make you real sensitive. But all this Jupiter and Capricorn energy that's coming in all the readings is like, what is unsustainable cannot work anymore. And there's a very strong and clear realization of that for you guys this week. And this is a need that you need to take care of. Whatever comes down and leaves the Tower in place of, yeah, the Hangman says it's time to stop, you know, fighting against needing to see something from a different perspective, really. You can't be bound by this energy that tries, you know, bound by ego, bound by defensiveness in this situation. It makes you need to, cannot English, oh my God. You need to look at this from a different perspective, from a more realized perspective, from somebody else's. You need to hear if somebody's talking to you this week and listen, because the energy that comes in or the communication that comes in, what was learned this week really does help you build a better, stronger foundation. You can do this, but you have to be willing to put yourself almost in a position of self-sacrifice, put yourself in a position where you're not really moving forward, but instead looking. You can't just be trying to work your way out of this. If you're constantly trying to fight to move past something rather than deal with it so that we can move past it, then it will continue to follow and it will continue to bring you down. So it's saying, yeah, you have everything that you need, but first focus on you. But first, the Tower came down, so let's deal with that situation. Yeah, let's deal with where we're going to go from here, how we're going to deal, like how we're going to build upon this. And yeah, you're going to need some direction, and you're going to need to recognize where you've held yourself up here, the Devil and the Nine of Swords reversed, where maybe we've had unhealthy mindsets, addictions to negative mindsets, toxic behaviors, attaching ourselves to something in an unhealthy, you know, chaining ourselves to something that doesn't give back to us. And maybe it's even a mindset, a way of doing things, a way of pushing forward. Whatever this might be, even, you know, again, it could be a health thing, mental health thing, because it is Nine of Swords. But, you know, with anxiety, depression, and all that, and the Devil, it has you needing to work on these things and really needing to look at it from a different and more healthy perspective, a perspective of you need to heal to build these foundations. You want to build these foundations. You want to run forward. You want things to move past where they have been, but you can't just do that. Jupiter and Capricorn ain't gonna let that happen. You've got to put in the work. And I know that's hard. You really would just like to swim away from it because you guys feel these things deeply and you don't want to feel it anymore, but we can't run away from this one because it's right there. Okay? These are intense readings for you guys lately as well. All the readings are intense, but let's pull a Lindsay Andrews Oracle deck card. Ooh, I love this. Perfection. Dream your passion, fly away, go through the hoop of your innermost fears and desires, meet them and conquer them. What pain from childhood have you not dealt with? Move into your wound of your most secret fears and find the seeds of wisdom that are planted there. Face what upsets you the most. It is a great teacher. Give away whatever is holding you back. Insecurities, ego, fear of failure or of not being loved, fear of being alone, and be reborn into a new state of perfection. I mean, this just slapped the whole reading together there, like made into a nice reading sandwich. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know the readings are intense right now. Not my fault. It's the energy, which is why I haven't been doing even monthlies, because energy is so rapidly transforming and changing. And I'll talk about that in a separate video. But anyways, hope you guys have a wonderful and blessed week. I love you guys so, so much. Thank you so much for all of your support. Make sure to subscribe. If you want to book a reading, all the information is below this video in my description box. Check me out on Instagram at Deku Tarot. And if you are interested in getting an astrology compatibility analysis, birth chart analysis, numerology analysis, Truly Divine is an amazing, amazing source that does all of that. They literally give you like 20 plus pages of information, and it's so in-depth and so accurate and just incredible. So check them out. You can use my code DEKU30 for 30% off, and you can use that as many times as you want and share it with as many people as you want. So have a wonderful and blessed week, guys. Namaste.